Hey everyone, Jesse here, and I'm excited to dive into some fascinating tech with you today with Laura.
Always fun.
Yeah, remember early 2024, all those splashy product launches
Oh, yeah.
that promised to like revolutionize everything?
Revolutionize
We're going to revisit three that were huge news, but they haven't exactly taken the world by storm yet.
That's right. We're talking about the Apple Vision Pro,
Yeah.
the Humane AI Pin, and the Rabbit R1.
Yeah.
All three of those face some pretty serious criticism at launch,
Mm.
but they haven't given up. These companies have been quietly rolling out updates all year, trying to turn things around.
Okay, so let's unpack this, starting with the Apple Vision Pro.
Hmm.
This was the $3,500 mixed reality headset
Yeah.
that had everyone talking, but the price tag was a huge barrier for most people.
For sure.
What's the current state of the Vision Pro, and did those updates make a difference?
Well, the initial excitement seems to have cooled, and sales figures were reportedly slashed significantly just a few months after launch.
Oh, well.
Which makes you wonder, is cutting-edge tech even worth it if it's priced out of reach for most people?
Yeah.
However, Apple has been busy refining the user experience. They've introduced updates that let you rearrange your home screen, giving users more control over their virtual environment. Plus, there's this really cool new way to access the control center. You just look at your hand and a circle appears. Flip your hand over and boom, there's a system tray widget you can tap.
That definitely sounds futuristic.
Yeah.
But is it enough to justify that price tag?
Right.
A lot of people felt like the Vision Pro was more of a luxury item than a practical device.
Yeah.
What about those other two flops, the Humane AI Pin and the Rabbit R1?
Yeah.
These were both AI assistants, but one you wear on your lapel and the other is a pocket-sized device. Remind me, what were the initial issues these two faced?
Both faced a lot of criticism for not actually working as promised.
Okay.
The AI Pin, which was supposed to be this sleek, futuristic way to interact with AI, had issues with overheating and a clunky laser display system that wasn't very user-friendly. You practically needed a magnifying glass to see what it was projecting.
Wow, and the Rabbit R1. Wasn't there some concern about security and functionality?
Absolutely. The Rabbit R1 relied heavily on an Android app for functionality,
Right.
which wasn't ideal for people who prefer other operating systems.
Yeah.
And there were some serious security flaws discovered shortly after launch
All right.
that left many users feeling uneasy about trusting the device with their personal information. Imagine a cute little AI bunny leaking all your data. Not a good look.
Not a good look. So not exactly the seamless AI experience they were promising. Have these companies managed to address these concerns with their updates?
Humane has been pushing out updates like crazy, focusing on fixing those initial problems with the AI pin.
Okay.
They've improved thermal regulation,
Uh-huh.
extended the laser runtime, and enhanced battery life and speech recognition. They're definitely trying to show they're listening to those early criticisms.
So it sounds like they're at least making progress. But have they added anything genuinely innovative, anything that makes the AI pin stand out from the crowd?
Well, they've introduced a new feature called personal voice, which is pretty wild. It basically translates your words into a synthetic version of your own voice.
Oh, wow.
Imagine being able to speak Mandarin, but it would sound like you speaking Mandarin even if you've never learned a word of it.
That's both incredibly cool and kind of creepy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, what are the ethical implications of that? Imagine someone using your voice without your permission.
Okay, let's move on to the Rabbit R1. Did they manage to fix those security issues and actually make the device functional?
They've made some progress. They've improved the interface and the scroll wheel, and they've introduced Beta Rabbit, which is supposed to provide a more conversational AI experience.
Right.
But then there's this new feature called Teach Mode, which is puzzling to say the least.
Okay.
Basically, you have to manually train the device to do simple tasks. Hold on, isn't the whole point of AI that it's supposed to learn on its own?
Right.
Why are we back to manually programming things? That seems like a step backward.
Right. It's almost as if they're admitting their AI isn't as intelligent as they initially claimed it to be.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if these devices are truly innovative or just repackaging existing technology in a new and not necessarily improved form.
So the big question is, have any of these products redeemed themselves in your eyes? Would you recommend any of them after hearing about the updates?
That's a tough one. The Vision Pro still has potential, but it's a luxury item, and the updates, while impressive, don't necessarily address the core issue of its price.
Yeah.
The AI Pin and the Rabbit R1 are making strides, but are they truly breaking new ground or just playing catch-up? I'm not entirely convinced. Yeah.
Interesting.
Welcome back, everyone. We're continuing our exploration of these tech products that are trying to make a comeback after some initial stumbles.
It's interesting, isn't it? These three products, the Apple Vision Pro, the Humane AI Pin, and the Rabbit R1, they all represent such different approaches to innovation.
Yeah.
The Vision Pro is this high-end, almost luxurious device,
Right.
pushing the boundaries of what's possible with mixed reality.
It's almost like Apple is trying to create that futuristic world we see in sci-fi movies,
Yeah,
but with a hefty price tag attached. The question is, will that world be accessible to the average person, or will it remain exclusive to a select few?
exactly. And then you have the AI Pin and the Rabbit R1 taking a different route altogether.
Right.
They're trying to integrate AI into our everyday lives in a more subtle, wearable way.
Yeah.
But as we discussed in part one, they both face some serious challenges out of the gate.
Uh-huh.
Do you think those updates really address those core problems, or are they just putting a Band-Aid on a bigger issue?
I think that's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
Take the Rabbit R1, for example, this teach mode thing where you have to manually train the device. It's just bizarre. It feels like they're admitting their AI isn't as intelligent as they initially claimed.
I agree. It feels counterintuitive to have to teach an AI assistant how to do basic tasks.
Right.
And what about the privacy concerns that were raised about the Rabbit R1?
Yeah.
Having to log into things like Amazon through their virtual browser, it just didn't feel very secure.
You're right. It raises some serious questions about data security and who has access to our personal information. It makes you think twice about the trade-offs we're making for convenience. While the AI Pin doesn't have that same issue, it still has its own quirks.
Mm-hmm.
That whole personal voice feature is both fascinating and unsettling, isn't it?
It is. On the one hand, it's amazing to think that you could communicate with someone in a different language and have it sound like you're actually speaking that language. But then you have to consider the potential for misuse. What if someone could use your voice to say things you never would? It's a bit of a Pandora's box.
Absolutely. It makes you think about the ethical implications of these technologies and the responsibility that comes with developing them. But putting those concerns aside for a moment, these companies are definitely showing persistence. They're listening to feedback, addressing criticism, and constantly iterating.
That's true. They haven't given up on these products, even though they faced a lot of negativity at launch.
Yeah.
And I do think they're tapping into something important, the desire for seamless integration of technology into our lives.
I agree. Whether it's a headset that transports us to another world or a tiny AI assistant that anticipates our needs, we're all looking for ways to make technology work for us, not the other way around.
So do you think these products have a shot at fulfilling that promise? Could they become those game changers they were hyped up to be?
It's hard to say for sure. The tech world is full of surprises, and what seems like a flop today could easily become the next big thing tomorrow. I think a lot depends on how these companies adapt, innovate, and respond to the ever-changing needs of consumers. Will they be able to pivot and truly deliver on their promises? Or will they become cautionary tales about the dangers of overhyping a product?
That's a great point. And it leads us perfectly into the final part of our deep dive, where we'll explore the future of these products and what they might mean for the tech landscape as a whole.
Stay tuned, everyone, because things are about to get really interesting. We'll be back in just a moment to wrap things up and offer our predictions for the future of these three tech hopefuls.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into these tech comebacks.
Yeah.
We've talked about the struggles, the improvements, and the lingering questions.
Right.
Now let's look ahead. What does the future hold for these products, and what might their journey tell us about the tech industry as a whole?
It's tough to predict with absolute certainty. But, if we analyze the trends and the directions these companies are taking, we can make some educated guesses. Let's start with the Apple Vision Pro. It's this super premium, high-priced device that's clearly targeting a specific niche. Do you think they'll ever make it more accessible to the average consumer?
It's hard to imagine Apple compromising on their premium branding.
Yeah.
But maybe they'll surprise us.
Yeah.
They've made some moves in the past to offer more affordable versions of their products.
Right.
But you're right. So they seem pretty committed to positioning the Vision Pro as this aspirational, almost luxury item.
Exactly. It's like they're saying this is the future and it's only for those who can afford it.
Right.
But the question is, will that strategy work in the long run?
Yeah.
The mixed reality market is becoming increasingly competitive with companies like Google and Samsung entering the fray.
Oh, wow.
They might be more willing to experiment with pricing and features, making mixed reality more accessible to a wider audience.
It'll be interesting to see how Apple responds to that pressure.
Yeah.
Will they stick to their guns and maintain their premium pricing? Or will they be forced to adjust their strategy to stay competitive?
Only time will tell.
Yeah.
But one thing's for sure, the battle for dominance in the mixed reality market is just heating up. Now let's shift gears and talk about those AI assistants.
Okay.
The Humane AI Pin and the Rabbit R1.
Yeah.
They're both trying to carve out their space in an already crowded market. What do you think their biggest challenges will be?
I think it comes down to proving their value.
Mm-hmm.
They need to convince consumers that they offer something truly unique and beneficial that can't be found in existing AI assistants like Siri, Alexa, or Google Assistant.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that killer app,
Yeah.
that one feature that makes people say, I need this in my life.
Right.
And it has to be something that seamlessly integrates into our daily routines, something that anticipates our needs and makes our lives easier without being intrusive or creepy.
Mhm.
It's a tall order, but not impossible.
So looking into your crystal ball,
Mm-hmm.
do you see any of these products becoming the game changers they were initially hyped up to be?
Honestly, it's hard to say. I think the Apple Vision Pro has the best chance. It has the backing of a tech giant with a proven track record of innovation and a loyal customer base.
Mm.
But the AI Pin and the Rabbit R1 face an uphill battle. They need to really differentiate themselves and offer something truly compelling to stand out in that crowded AI assistant market.
Well, folks, there you have it. 3 tech products that stumbled out of the gate but are fighting their way back.
Mm-hmm.
Only time will tell whether they'll ultimately succeed. But their journey so far offers some valuable lessons about the tech industry.
Yeah.
It's a constant cycle of innovation, competition, and adaptation.
And it reminds us that innovation is rarely a straight line.
Yeah.
There are bound to be setbacks and challenges along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the companies that learn from their mistakes, adapt, and persist that ultimately shape the future.
Well said. And that's a wrap on our deep dive for today.
Mm.
We hope you enjoyed this exploration of tech resilience and the future of innovation.
If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of tech flops and comebacks, be sure to subscribe to TechWise Stream for more insightful discussions on all things tech. And don't forget to leave us a comment below. Let us know what you think about these products and their chances of success. We love hearing your thoughts.
Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the ever-changing world of technology.